Hi, that game was a great one in Atlanta. We'll get to it, but take a look at the Eastern Conference bracket. We're going to see Game 3 between the Pistons and Magic at the top of the hour. Celtics, Cavaliers, they're both up 2-1. The Knicks trailing Atlanta 2-1 after losing back-to-back games by precisely 1 point. CJ McCollum said, I'm not the villain. I am a father of 2. I am married, but I'll go put the cape on if I need to. And he's done that for 2 games in a row. And since we are still talking about the final plays of this game, we thought it would be good to pull out a clicker. T-Mac has a clicker. That's how much he wanted to walk through this play so he could stop it, roll it, play it again, and walk us through what happened, yes, on the last play for the Knicks.
Yeah, because I thought they gave themselves a chance. This was a great out-of-bounds play right here. Shout out to Chris Jen. Shout out to Chris Jen on drawing up this play. And if you look right here, right, Josh Hart is taking this ball out. It's a pin down to bring JB up to the top. So with Cat, this is what I want you to recognize. Cat is going to be wide open. Watch, his man is not paying attention, and Cat is not paying attention. So with Cat have all this space open right here, but Cat is running the play for JB. He's doing what he's supposed to do, right? Another play. Cat, his man falls down. He's open in this area. Why? Because he has to take him, right? So if he is taking Cat, who is going to be open? JB. But they run the play and get nothing out of it, really. So let's run this back and look how this works. Cat, where are you going, my guy? All this is open for you. Your man is not paying attention to you. What you got, Melo? What'd you see? Don't you see this wide open right here for Cat? He's way out there. He has this man out there. So if you're paying attention, because he thinks Josh Hart has a wide open lane to drive that ball, but Cat is running the play.
Well, the play is broken already. The play been broken 2 times already. Cat is just trying to finish the play. I'm not mad at him trying to finish the play, but what I will add is that there should be a sense of awareness by Cat.
Yes.
At least understand where your man is going. You gave Josh Hart the ball back. Your man baited. Your man went to Josh Hart a little bit. You went out there to set the screen on Brunson. You fouled him twice. You got away with that. The play is broken. Now we got to go make a play, Cat.
So now, this is, what, 8 seconds. I'm sure they are in the penalty.
Yes.
Yeah. Your man falls down. If you try to run to the basket, obviously, he's going to probably try to slow you down or trip you, and you're going to get 2 free throws because that's going to be a foul. And it's just poor execution at this part right here. And when you have bad communication and you trying to run, like at some point, you have to have the awareness like you're talking about. And they didn't have that awareness. They were all about trying to run the play and do the right thing. But as veteran players, you got to read the board, right? It's not going to be how you draw it up every single time. You have to have that awareness, and sometimes you just got to improvise. And they just had a chance to win the game, but they didn't see that awareness. So
it's interesting that both of these games have basically come down to the final possession, and then it's come down to one team executing and one team not. Jalen Brunson was the clutch player of the year just a season ago. So in these scenarios, it all worked and it made sense. What has been different in your mind, VC, in this series?
Well, the attention to details and the attention that they're giving Jalen Brunson. They're putting bigger guys on him, trying to be physical with him, and they're going at him defensively. So you're not going to go at us and give us 29 on offense and think you get the rest on defense. They're going to make you guard. And one thing I love about that last play is if you notice Kuminga probably guarded 3 people in that play and was not in awareness. He was not going to let Jalen Brunson take a Okongwu one-on-one. So he ran off his man, driving baseline to put 2 on him because we know JB is very capable of the step back. He sees 2 guys, he has to get off the ball. But the help side defense in that situation was spot on, created the turnover. On top of that, it's a loose ball. He didn't watch the ball. He ran the ball down to secure the play. That's a championship play.
I think that's where Quinn Snyder has been a genius, is really putting, athletic guys out on the basketball court. You got Okongwu, you have Kuminga. These guys are switchable, and they can play JB. They have size, they have length, and speed to be able to stay in front of him, keep him in front, and contest his shots. And he's been struggling with those athletic guys.
Can I ask you guys a question? I'm just going to say a name. Mikal Bridges. And what comes to mind?
We've already talked.
For the first time in his 60 playoff games, he did not score. By the way, 2 minutes into the second half, he did not play. He was out of the lineup, so we saw a lot of Deuce McBride. What is happening there?
I think and I say we, New York.
Okay.
I think New York doesn't have a Mikal problem. Like, it's a crisis to me. When you talk about how New York is supposed to be built and ready for this moment, they built around three-point making and long defenders on the perimeter, guys who can play multiple positions. For your main guy, your main 3-and-D guy, to go have 0 points, to be a minus 20, 26 in 21 minutes. Yeah. That just cannot happen. And for the coach to say that my starting lineup is a game-time decision, to me, that tells me something else, right? So I don't agree with changing the lineup and switching the lineup, because if we going through the fire, let's go through the fire. This is the guy that we brought here to be this guy. But it just seems like Mikal is out there. He's lost. He's overthinking the game. He's trying to figure out when to shoot, when not to shoot, make a play, not to make a play. He's just seems like he cannot figure it out right now, where this has been a problem all season long for the Knicks. And we had this conversation in OKC, and when y'all spoke to Cat, he said, we still trying to figure this out. This was about 2 weeks going into the playoffs, right? So we see what's happening. I think all of this is accumulation of what's been, transpiring all through the year. And Atlanta, take your hat off to Atlanta, man. They are a very, very good basketball team. And CJ McCollum, hats off to you, brother, because what you doing right now.
The closer.
You just picking your spots, and you picking on JB, you picking on your spots, you picking on Mikal, you picking on everybody. But I think it's how you doing it. You're being boisterous about it. You talking to them on the court saying, hey, put him in the pick and roll, put him in the pick and roll. As a defender, you're thinking about that. I don't care how good of a defender you are. You're thinking about that when somebody is calling you out every single time. So,
hey, and when he hit his game-winning shot, he was against their best defender.
Absolutely.
So at that point, it did not matter, and that's what level he's playing on. Give me the ball, a la when Trae Young was there. He was like, give me the ball and let me do what I do. Quinn Snyder has put him in a position where he's put him in the middle of the floor. You get the guy you need, and you go to work, get to your spot, which he does very well, and he knocks it down.
Things I want to remind us of. The Atlanta Hawks were under 500 before the All-Star break. CJ McCollum was not on the team. He's only played 41 games with this team. So think about, all the things that they've had to adjust to. Think about the Knicks having their roster since the beginning of the season. And here we are with these two teams on opposite ends of the spectrum when it comes to execution at the end of games specifically.
The worst thing that happens to the Knicks is that Kuminga is knocking down threes.
And he's doing it. He's doing it. Guess what? That game coming your way. It's the second game of the doubleheader that we have on NBC. T-Mac's putting up his clicker. He's done. He don't want to talk about no more plays today. He done already put it back there behind the graphic. Okay, the game that we have to talk about next. The Oklahoma City Thunder have not given up a game so far to the Phoenix Suns. We'll see if there's any way that the Suns can slow them down in Arizona.